Namaste everybody. Today we are going to read about the unit evolution of grade 9. So at first the term evolution, you are familiar with that term, evolution. Yes. So in this lesson today we will read about evolution, introduction, and then in what stages, what phases evolution took place. Then we will mention all the evidences related with it, and about one evidence we will discuss in detail, that is evidence from fossils. And at first, as usual, I would like to put a question in front of you about which you have to think and you have to try to find answer of it. So just see the question. What is it? Where the living beings and the earth originated at the same time and in the same form as they are at present? Think once. Your answer should be yes or no. I'm not going to ask in detail. Yes. So here, whatever may be your answer, doesn't matter. But the truth is what? No. Because during the origin of the earth was not in the same condition as it is at present. There were a number of things absent: no atmosphere, no suitable other conditions. The earth's surface was exposed for the direct ultraviolet radiation. So many things about which we will not discuss in detail, but answer is what? No. And another thing here, at first we are going to read about origin of life on the earth, but before that, after the formation of very simple organism, from that developed organisms are formed. That means living beings are evolved. That's why the term evolution is used. Evolution is gradual development. Yes. So that is from very simple organisms. The present complex organisms which are seen now around us, we also a part of it, are formed from that. Okay. So at first, let's see that what theories, what hypotheses are given about the origin of life. About origin of earth, you have learnt different hypotheses, but today we are going to read about what? Origin of life, just introduction. So about it, mainly three theories are given. First theory is theory of special creation. Yes. Next one is theory of spontaneous generation. And next one, last one, is what? Modern concept of origin of life. So at first we discuss about theory of special creation. Name is special creation. In fact, this theory is based on different theology. Theology, you know that it is the holy books of different religions. Like for Hindus, there is Puran, yes, and then Vedas and Puran. And then for Muslims, there is Quran. For Christians, there is what? Bible. So like that, there are different theology according to which different opinions are given about the origin of life. It is not necessary to explain in detail about all of them. Okay, but there are given that in that form living beings were originated, and all these things are based on faith. In fact, scientific proofs are not found of it. Yes. So such theories are kept under what? Theory of special creation. And according to all of them, in a very short period, according to some in a moment, and according to some in some days, whole creation was formed as present. But evidences do not support it. Okay. Next theory came, that is theory of spontaneous generation. Theory of spontaneous generation. Spontaneous generation means generation of organisms from non-living beings. And under it, different examples were given. One scholar, Wiseman, no, he was not Wiseman, he was Helmont. Helmont, not Wisman, Helmont suggested that if a shirt wet in sweat, a shirt wet in sweat of body, and wheat bran are kept in a box, after 21 days, rat is or mice is formed. He told that when he did that experiment, he found so. But later, when it was tested, it was not found correct. Okay. And in ancient time, it was believed that in the Nile River, when the river dries in summer and the mud is remained, so in that mud, due to the effect of sun's heat, different type of creatures are formed. And these creatures appear when it rains. It was believed, it was belief. Yes, people believe on it. So they believed, but later it was known that in fact in this way these living beings are not formed, but there are some living beings, living organisms which hide themselves from more heat, more cold, about to which we say aeration, hibernation. Yes, so because of that reason, living organisms hide their body in you can opposite it, you can say that in non-suitable conditions, and when they get suitable condition again, they appear. Yes, and after that, this theory was rejected by different scholars like Louis Pasteur, Spallanzani, like scientists. They gave different experiments about which we will not do detail, that means discussion, just information I am giving you. In fact, these things are just as introduction, not necessary for your exam, but you should know for your knowledge. And next one is mainly about which we have to know, that is modern concept of origin of life. About it, mainly two biologists contribute. They were British scientist J.B.S. Halden and Russian biochemist Alexander Oparin. So these two scientists suggested about modern concept of origin of life. In fact, that theory is also, we can say, not was, that is also based on spontaneous generation. Because if life originates only from life, then how was the first life formed? It is impossible. If life originates from life only, then first life, how would it form? That is very great problem for us. In fact, when it was searched, it was found that life was formed from non-living things. And here they suggested that evolution, that means the formation of organisms and their development, occurred in two steps. They were chemical evolution and organic evolution. In fact, our relation is closely related with organic evolution only. We will discuss more about organic evolution, and the term will be used for that evolution. But before that, chemical evolution took place. So little bit I will discuss about chemical evolution also. You have understood up to here? Yes, we discussed about three theories about creation of organisms on the origin of organisms on the earth. They are theory of special creation, theory of spontaneous generation, and modern concept of origin of life, about which we are discussing. So what is chemical evolution? Let's see about it. Chemical evolution says that the present complex organisms are also formed by the same matter which is found in a particle of any other matter. That means atom, molecules. Our unit is also that. That may be any very huge animal, or of our size animal, or microscopic, doesn't matter. But all of them consist of what? Atom, molecule. Yes, they took different forms. So here at first, micromolecules like fatty acid, glycerol. Glycerol is unit of what? Glycerol and fatty acid are unit of fat. Amino acids, that is unit of protein. and sugar molecules, carbohydrates, were formed from different elements like hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen. These simple elements, some simple compounds also may participate in it, water. Yes, at first they may change into some bigger molecules, and then these bigger molecules formed what? More big. Micromolecule means smaller, but it is relative to macro. Okay. Anyway, micromolecules were formed from simple elements. Then these micromolecules reunited to form macromolecules like carbohydrates. Complex here, sugar molecule is just disaccharide. Sugar, monosaccharide, disaccharide. After that, polysaccharides were formed. Yes, protein from these amino acids, fat, fatty acid, nucleic acid. Yes, from the same elements. So these substances were formed. You may ask that what was the cause of formation that? After this discovery, the scientists tested it in laboratory by sparking, by creating ultraviolet rays. Simple elements can be united together to, that means they can be changed into complex molecules like here explained. So on the earth, because of the effect of ultraviolet radiation, because of the lightning, etc., that helped to form complex molecules. Okay, and then in this way, chemical evolution took place. Micromolecules were formed, and after that, macromolecules were formed. Yes, and these macromolecules developed in the form of a single-celled organisms. Or you can say, out of these macromolecules, some molecules had the capacity of replication, duplication. They were able to form their copy, and that was the initiation of the first life. So in this way, macromolecules, some of the macromolecules develop in the form of single-celled organisms like amoeba, paramecium, euglena, plasmodium. Yes, you can understand only by amoeba, single-celled organism. And the process of forming living creature from these non-living chemicals is called as what? Abiogenesis. This prefix a you have used at different places. When it is used, negative meaning. It gives negative meaning. For example, sexual or sexual, biotic or biotic. So like that, biogenesis? No, abiogenesis. Abiogenesis means not by living. Living beings were not originated from living beings, but they were originated from what? Non-living beings. Again, it supported to what? Origin of living beings from non-living beings. That means spontaneous generation theory is supported by it. Okay. Modern concept is also supporting spontaneous generation theory. Okay. And from this chemical evolution, after that what started? Organic evolution. Because first life is formed. And evidences also say that about 3,800 million years ago, 3,800 million years ago, 3,800 million years, or you can say 3.8 Arab years. Yes, it is easy to say 3,800 million years ago, bacteria was originated. This is evidence of fossil. Fossils show that. And about 3,200 million years ago, you can write capital Y, it is your symbol, not any standard symbol, mean that algae was formed. Algae were formed. Algae is plural. Algae were formed. That means the simplest, your body structure is also simpler than algae. Yes. So bacteria developed into what? Algae. And still there are some types of algae which are named as cyanobacteria. Named as because many characteristics of bacteria are found there. Yes. Okay. So algae, that means those type of organisms were formed which could do photosynthesis. and it was turning effect for the turning point, not effect, turning point of the evolution of the environment, because carbon dioxide gas was used here, oxygen was given. So like that, environment became better and better after that one. Okay, living beings means other animals. So about geological time scale you have done in class 8. So detail we cannot do here, but some knowledge of that you can use here, because there is also evolutionary development explained. Yes. Okay. So uh, here we can say that the chemical evolution, then chemical evolution was followed by what? Organic evolution. Now we have come in our main field, that is organic evolution. So what is organic evolution? At first you see that diagram given here. Here is shown, what is it? Yes, amoeba. It is representing simple celled organisms. From that, tree-like structure is made, different branches are shown. One is that green one. So you can see that all of them are green plants. So one, that means some of them were evolved in this form. Still some single-celled organisms like euglena are found which can prepare their food themselves. There are other some algae, I mean euglena is animal. Plants are many, but one animal which is considered as a chain between plant and animal. Also botanists say that it is plant, and zoologists say that it is animal, because it shows characteristics, common characteristics of animals and plants. Okay, anyway, so in this way plants were evolved. After that you can see here different type of single celled organisms were also evolved. Yes, sponges, starfish, and then different type of vertebrates. Yes, and then here mollusks, arthropods. Yes, and what is here? Is it clear? So here different types of helminths. Yes, jellyfish. So in this way, different type of organisms were evolved from the same organism. So in short, what can you say? Think once. From that diagram, you can make your own definition of organic evolution, and the essence is that all the organisms, all the complex organisms are evolved from single-celled organisms or simpler organisms. So, and it is organic evolution is a very slow and progressive process. It occurs very gradually. You cannot see in your life period that one creature is that means evolving into another one. Yes, because it is very slow, very gradual process. Also, we say very slow process. And progressive means simpler change into complex, more complex. Yes. Next, in it, complex organisms are developed from simple organisms, and new species are originated. You know, species, new type, new variety of organisms are originated. So new species are product of what? Organic evolution. Yes. Okay. So it is evolution. Now really evolution took place. What is its proof? How can you say that evolution took place? You have to give proof, otherwise the world will not believe you. So for evidences, number of things are taken here about which we are going to discuss, and in this class we will discuss about only one proof, only one evidence of them. First one is evidence from fossils, and fossils, study of fossil is called as paleontology. Spelling, to memorize spelling, paleontology, but we pronounce paleontology. And the evidence related with it is called as paleontological evidence. And here I would like to highlight here that this evidence is the strongest evidence, because it is based on the things remained of the past organisms. It is not based on any logic. It is based on the materials which are residue of the old organisms. Okay, about what are fossils, we will discuss some things, some knowledge you have also. Okay, evidence from fossils or paleontological evidence. Next one is evidence from comparative morphology and anatomy. You can say only that evidence from comparative anatomy. In fact, what are morphology and anatomy? Morphology is external structure, external form, and anatomy is internal structure, which is inside our body. So, because in it both are studied, that's why it is better to say evidence from comparative morphology and anatomy. But if you are writing from comparative anatomy, that's also okay, can be considered. Okay. So, there are two. One is evidence from homologous and analogous organs. Homologous organs and analogous organs. If you are separating, first one is evidence from homologous organ and second one is from analogous organ, that's also okay. Next one is evidence from vestigial organs. Yes. So, they are based on what? Comparative morphology and anatomy. Now, the next is evidence from embryos or embryological evidence. So, embryos, what are embryos? You should know that embryo is undeveloped organism inside the mother's uterus or inside egg. That means the organism before the birth, before it is hatching out from the egg. That is called as embryo. And the study of embryo is called as embryology. Embryology. That's why this evidence is also known as what? Embryological evidence. Okay. Next one is evidence from connecting animals or bridge animals. Connecting animals, by name it is clear, which connects. What? Connects what? Two groups of organisms. And that's why it is also called as what? Bridge animals. You know that bridge connects the two what? Margins of a river. Yes. So, from one margin, the people go, from one bank, the people go at the next bank of the river by using bridge. So, here these bridge animals connect two group of animals. Okay. Now, next, last one about which we will not read in detail, but you can know evidence from geographical distribution of organisms. Evidence from geographical distribution of organisms, that is also one evidence, but it is not in our course. Here in it, it is told that in different geographical distribution also, different geographical condition also, same type of organisms from same origin. Okay. If climatic difference is there, origin is same, then organisms are same there. Similar. Same means similar. If geographical condition is same, but their origin is different, then they are at two different places. They are of two different types. So, in detail, you do not have to go about it because later I will not discuss about it. That's why little bit I told you. Okay. If you like to know detail, you can search. We have knowledge with us in our mobile, in our computer. So, we can search it to know more about it. Okay. So, at first, we are going to discuss about the first evidence, but before that we should be familiar with what is fossil and how its age determined, and then only we will go about that evidence. At first, fossils and their forms. What are fossils? Dead bodies or their part preserved in sedimentary rocks in any form, because they are found in different forms, are called as fossils. Whole dead body or a part of it, maybe one tooth, maybe a bone of finger, yes, like that, maybe a part or whole body. If it is preserved in sedimentary rock in any form, then that is called as fossil. And to form fossils, millions of years are required. There are many, that means many years are required to form fossils. Okay. Now, next, here you see who have seen this type of organism. You know that it is skeleton of what? Dinosaurs. We human beings are originated very later from their destiny. Yes. from their abundance. Human beings have not seen. All the pictures you see, they are only imaginary based on these fossils. So fossils are obtained. They were, that's why their fossil is. That's why I told that it is the strongest evidence. Okay, so here I am showing two fossils here to so that it may be whole body or maybe part. It is just a part of oyster. Yes, oyster consists of two such structures inside which organism is found. Only one part is here, that is also. And another thing also you have to keep in mind, that fossils may be microscopic or huge organisms. That means very big, very giant also. Okay. So they may be, their size varies in between what? Microscopic structure to giant trees, I can say giant animals. Yes, trees also may change into fossil, doesn't matter. Okay. So here see some different forms of fossils. Fossil may be in the form of carbon film. Here it is just shape made by carbon present in the leaves of plant. Just a fine layer is forming that design. It is called as carbon film. Yes. Next one is trace. You can imagine that there are bone. No. In fact, it is the trace of bone only. It is tracing on the sedimentary rocks. Each and everything is decayed. Just its structure is forming on the stone. That is trace. It is also fossil. Next fossil, it is fossil, the organisms structure in stones by rocks. That means they are petrified. Petrology is the study of rock. Petroleum is rock oil. So petrified fossils means the fossil which is changed into stone, into rock. Okay. So here the structure of organism is made up of what? Rock. So it is petrified. Petrified fossil. Like that, look here, whole body fossil. That is in resin, amber resin. You have seen that sticky substance comes out from trees. If some insect come in contact with it and the liquid that flows over it, then that whole body is, when it sticks, it cannot fly away. And over it, when that material covers it, then it is preserved there, and the tree, this part may go in the earth later due to different geographical disturbances, and they change in the form of what? Fossil. In that condition, whole body is preserved. Yes, in this way also. So it is whole body fossil. In fact, the dinosaur figure I shown you, that is also what? Whole body fossil. Okay. Now here, this structure is very common in some stones which are found in our rivers. Yes. And here two different forms of fossils are given here. If you are seeing carefully, then only you can find the difference. Here, in fact, it is only cavity. Only cavity. Imagine that the living being was when covered in sediment, that means sediment, and it's all the materials dissolved by some chemicals, and only cavity was formed on that rock, then it is called as mold. Gradually, with water, minerals come at that place and then deposit every year, and in the same shape, the minerals, that means mineral form the same shape, that is called cast, which may petrify later. Later they may change into rock. Okay. So it is fossil of, here we discuss different type of fossils. Yes, mold, cast, whole body fossil, carbon film, traces, footprints we have not discussed. So there are many forms of fossils. So after this identification, you should have little bit knowledge that how can we identify, that means scientists, how can scientists find the age of fossils by which they guess that that particular organism was before that years ago, that was originated before that year ago. Yes, for that they should know the age of fossils. So for that, radioactive dating is used. Radioactive dating, and under it we have to know about carbon dating and uranium dating. Carbon and uranium dating. Let's see on the slide. Carbon dating, which is also called as radiocarbon dating, and uranium dating. What happens in carbon dating? How is it done in detail? It is not in our level. It needs more mature brain to understand, because a particular equation is used to calculate it. For simplicity, here I have given one diagram. Here, when this plant was on the Earth's surface, at that time it had carbon 14. That means when plants prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis, the carbon form is carbon 14. And due to different geographical disturbances, when it changes into carbon 12, okay, and 50%, that means the time taken by it to change into, time taken by the material, such deposited material, 50% of that material into carbon 12, it needs 5,730 years. 5,730 years. So, or you can say here, in fact, 30 is plus minus, 5,700 is given, plus minus 30, but here it is written 5,730 years, and this time is called as half-life period. Half-life period. Only that information is better for you. Half-life period. Half-life period is that duration in which 50% of a radioactive substance changes into another one. For example, here carbon 14 is changing into carbon 12. This one is called as mother, and that one is called as what? It's daughter. Mother-daughter terms are used for it, to which I am introducing in next one. Uranium dating. Here uranium, you can count how many uranium are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, or what? 4, 8. 8. And here 4 lead and 4 uranium. So 50% is changed. And here after 4.5 billion years, that means its half-life period is that. So parent uranium changes into daughter lead. So it needs calculation, needs use of equation. Yeah. Okay. So if the fossil is older up to 60,000 years, then it is calculated by carbon dating. And another thing, if there is fossil, then only carbon dating can be used, not for other rocks. But for non-carbon materials, uranium dating is used. And it is used to determine very old rocks also. Here its half-life period is what? 44.5 billion years, 4,500 million years. That's why for older rocks this method is used, and for older those rocks which contain fossil, for them carbon dating is used. So remember that fossil must be there. Yes. Okay. Formation of fossil. How fossils are formed? So just study this diagram. Here one organism is covered. After that, every year here deposit is going on. Then that is fossilized. Yes. And later this fossil may come at the surface itself. Yes. Or during mining or by other method. Yeah. Dead bodies of organisms with soil and sand are transported by river water into ocean, where they sediment gradually. Yes. And several layers of such substances are formed year to year in the same pattern at the bottom of the ocean. As deposition increases, pressure increases, the materials get squeezed and it helps them to stick together. And in this way, petrification, fossilization, petrification means formation of rock, fossilization means formation of fossil occurs. And in this way, they change into what? After millions of years, the substances change into sedimentary rocks in which fossils are preserved. So in this way fossils are formed. Okay, so we have identified fossils, we have learnt how age is determined, and then we have learned that how fossils are formed. Now we are going in evolution of horses or other animals which are based on this evidence. Now we have entered about as evidence. Look here, on the basis of the study of fossil of horses, the evolution history of that horse. Evolution history is also termed as phylogeny. Phylogeny. Phylogeny is evolution development, evolutionary development. So phylogeny of different animals is made. One is in front of you, that is of horses. Somewhere you have seen about human beings also given, human beings walking on 4 legs, after that on 2 legs, and then erect. You have seen that type of photographs in social study book. Yes, in science book. So that is what about evolution of human beings based on what? Study of fossils. Yes. Okay, and here this one was size of fox. Fox, that is smaller than jackal. About cat size, little bit bigger than cat size. Yes. And now it is about 1.5 meter tall. Horses. Yes. So that shows evolution. Next, evolution of Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx is an extinct bird. And here this fossil, on the basis of the fossil, here this is elaborated by artist. Here teeth are found in beak. About it we will discuss in another evidence also. Just you see here that Archaeopteryx shows characteristics of birds and reptiles both. Like birds, see here feather, beak. Yes. So that is like what? Birds. Like reptiles, tail, muscular tail, and here are also claws. Look, claws. We say nangra, claws. Yes, here claws. Not only in leg, in wing also. Yes, and teeth in beak. Birds do not have teeth, but they had teeth. Yes, so that links to organisms. So in connecting links also we'll discuss. And next, what is seen? What can you see it clearly? It is ₹50 ticket, our Hulak ticket, post ticket. We say Hulak ticket commonly. And what is written here? Nepal ka Jivavashesh, fossils of Nepal. It was found in Nepal, in the region of Palpa, Butwal, of that region. Yes. And here that is the elephant which had wool on its body. Woolly elephant like sheep. And they are called as mammoth. So see here, it is the fossil to which you can see in the Museum of Natural History, that is at the base of Shambhunath temple. In that this fossil is kept, and it is the diagram made based on what? This fossil, that is mammoth. So its fossil was found in Nepal. Yes. Okay. So that is also based on fossil. And then what evidences we have got? After studying so much things, what have we found? In the past, there were some organisms which are extinct now, like Archaeopteryx, mammoth. They are not now. Yes. Next, the past animals were different from the animals existing at present. Horses, present horses are different from ancient one. Present human beings are ancient from ancient one. Yes. Next, some particular types of animals and plants were abundant in particular range of period. Yes, dinosaurs which are extincted, and they were abundant in particular time. Yes. Next, a group of organisms existed in the past linked with other group of organisms. For example, Archaeopteryx, about which we have discussed. Next, past animals of same species were simpler in structure than present, which can be found in geological time scale also, about which you have done in class 8. Yes. So on the basis of these points, we can say that simpler organisms develop into complex organisms, or you can say that fossils gave evidence of evolution. Okay. Okay, students. So whatever you have learnt, just discuss. We have discussion is finished. Now we are going to test ourselves. Find the correct alternatives. Here first question is, what is carbon dating? See all the alternatives. A, B, C, D. In your thought, which one is correct? Just write A, B, C, D. Which one is correct? Correct answer only you can write. Now compare. Yes, if you are here, you have ticked that, it is correct. Because here fossil only, carbon dating can be done for to find age of fossils or those rocks which have fossils. So only rocks cannot be used. You may confuse here. Okay. Which of following is fossil? A piece of bone in sedimentary rock, a piece of bone in ground, a tooth under soil, a dead insect in spider web. Yes. So your answer is it? If it, then okay, it is a piece of bone in sedimentary rock. Now next question is, which is related with paleontological evidence? So very easily you have guessed, that is what? Fossil. Next objective question is, which groups of animal are linked by an Archaeopteryx? You remember it? Yes, apes means birds. Everywhere is apes, but apes and reptiles. Okay. Now some more questions. You have to write it. Do not answer now. Define organic evolution. Mention any 3 evidences of fossils. You are given many, just 3 you have to mention. What are fossils? A fossil of Archaeopteryx is shown in the diagram. Yes. So related with it, your first question is, what evidence does it give about evolution? What method can be used to determine its age? What is the study of fossil called? What characters of birds are found in it? And what characters of reptiles are found in it? 1, 2 character only, enough. Okay, students. So after that, the next thing, the remaining evidences we will discuss in next class. That's all for today. Namaste.